Good morning and welcome to the KODAL Minerals PLC Post-AGM investor presentation. Throughout this recorded meeting, investors will be in listen-only mode. Questions are encouraged and can be submitted at any time via the Q&A tab situated on the right-hand corner of your screen. Simply type in your questions and press send. The company may not be in a position to answer every question received during the meeting itself. However, the company can review all questions submitted today and publish responses where it's appropriate to do so. Before we begin, we'd like to submit the following poll. I'd now like to hand you over to Bernard Elwood, CEO. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Paul, and good morning, and thank you for all people online attending our presentation this morning. Just as a quick information update, we've completed the formal part of our AGM and we can confirm that all resolutions have been passed. We'd like to thank our shareholders for their continued support, for our colleagues and other board members for their work with KODAL. I'd like to thank everyone in the room today and shareholders who've made their way here. Appreciate that. We had a small drama this morning with a fire alarm that made us evacuate the building, and then a small hiccup with technology, but that's life and we move on. So sorry for a minor delay, but we're ready now and we'd like to start what we think is a pretty exciting chapter for KODAL, and we've got an update that gives a full summary of where we're at. So I think you're all familiar with our board. Myself as CEO, been with the company since 2016, geologist by background. Steve Zaninovich sitting with me today, who'll be presenting the technical part of the project, mining engineer, joined us in 2018 and has been a real driver in the development of the project. Other board members, Rob Wooldridge, our chairman, Charles Jocelyn, non-executive independent director, and David Tang, representing Hainan Mining. Very experienced board with a lot of knowledge and skill to impart to us from compliance, corporate, governance and technical. Why we're very pleased with the way KODAL has been progressing over the last year or more is the introduction of our development partner in Hainan Mining, or the Hainan Group. Hainan Mining is a significant mining company based in the island of Hainan in China. Historically, iron ore miner, expanded to become oil and gas producer, and have made significant steps into becoming a lithium miner and processor and part of that long chain of the future energy. We'll hear briefly from David some comments about Hainan's view and ongoing involvement and interest in expanding their involvement with us and with other opportunities in the lithium sector. Key thing for us was the investment directly made into the Bougouni lithium project. The $100 million invested by the Hainan Group was a significant milestone for us. It was a key moment where we were able to be fully funded for the development of our DMS opportunity that will bring us into production as soon as possible and bring us into cash flow and allow us to continue to fully develop the project. It was a real tick of approval for Bougouni, the upside that project has, and the work that our team had done to put that in place. A further part of that investment that Hainan made was an actual direct investment into the PLC company. And again, we believe a tick of approval for the management of the company and our ability to source, to explore and develop projects. They're a very supportive, experienced partner, and we are learning from them, and we are operating well together with Bougouni and assessing other opportunities. Where we are at the moment in terms of final phase of things with Bougouni, we're negotiating the 100% offtake for the spodumene product with Hainan Mining. Hainan have invested considerable funds into building a lithium hydroxide plant and are looking for feed and are looking for us to be a key supporter of that. This process plant has actually just been recently commissioned, and David, if you wouldn't mind just a few words on Hainan, their interest in lithium and the process you're going through.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. As Bernard just mentioned, Hainan Mining is a diversified natural resource company under Fosun, controlled by Fosun. And we are Shanghai Stock Exchange, a listed public company. And in terms of diversity, we developed from a single metal, which is iron ore business. Up to now, we have 3 business segments, which is iron ore, oil and gas, and the new material segments. And we are building a lithium hydroxide plant in Hainan. And we are aiming to grow the new material segment to become an important part of our, whole portfolio. And so we regard lithium sector as a, future development, path for Hainan Mining. And we view KODAL as our preferred partner in developing upstream, opportunities for Hainan Mining, also for Fosun International as a whole. So we are looking to, expanding the processing plant in China and also in other places, which is competitive. And now we signed an MOU with a Saudi Arabia partner to build another plant in Saudi Arabia. So which means, we need more upstream resources secured. So we place high priority in developing Mali operation first, which gave us experience and prepare for our next step, in terms of future opportunities in Mali and in West Africa. Thank you, Bernard.
Thank you, David. Thank you for attending today. Some key points we'd just like to make, because obviously we are a business. We're looking to make a profit from our operation in Bougouni, obviously joint development with Hainan. But significantly part of that is actually ensuring that we have a buyer for the product. And we are in the final stages of negotiating the offtake agreement with Hainan. It's subject to finalisation, but what we are able to demonstrate is that we have a high quality spodumene concentrate, grade varying between 5.5 to 6%. All our test work indicates that this converts to a high grade lithium carbonate product or lithium hydroxide product. It's ideal for the EV batteries. And this is one of the key reasons that Hainan joined us. We are looking to secure the 100% offtake of the product for the first 3 years of operation of the Bougouni Stage 1 DMS plant. The price that we have agreed is set to be the market price based on the Shanghai Metal Market, CIF, with a floor price agreed between the parties. The offtake for Stage 2 currently remains open. Of course, we have a preferred partner, and of course, we'd like to continue negotiations, but we are looking to make sure we can secure the financing and the development of Stage 2. And we do note there's strong demand for high-grade lithium products on the global market. And yes, we're hearing a lot of news about a lithium market in decline, indicated by a price drop. But we have been long-term involved in the lithium sector. We've seen it move from price below $600 a tonne to quite an extraordinary price of over $6,000 a tonne for a short period, and now coming back, probably overcorrected where it is at the moment, but coming back to settle around $1,000 to $1,200 a tonne, which is still an excellent price for us and will make our operation very profitable. And I think we've said this for quite a while, and I think a lot of our long-term shareholders are very familiar with the lithium market and obviously very familiar with our interest in the lithium market. And we do note that there's considerable commentary around a slowing demand for lithium EV vehicles, but it is actually from year on year consistently growing, and there's still a consistently increasing demand for lithium products. Whether the vehicles are pure EVs or hybrid, it's actually still an increasing uptake of lithium products for that sector. Again, we can see the market is dominated by the brine products from Chile, hard rock products from Australia. Mali, you see heading down towards the lower sector there, we hope to increase its position in the lithium market worldwide through the expansion of the Bougouni project and through further discoveries in the region. So this is our development, and this is where I'd like to hand over to Steve for a brief update on where we're actually are at Bougouni at the moment.
Thank you, Bernard. The story hasn't changed from our plans now 2 AGMs ago. The two-stage process development project. So we're well advanced with our stage 1 DMS plant, which is actually the right-hand side of that map, and with the plan to use our cash flow to help fund the capex for a stage 2 flotation plant. This is a 3D of our DMS plant, but I think that with where we're at with our actual construction, it's much better to look at real photos, and we've got a short video to show you soon. We're still on track with our $65 million capital expenditure budget. You would have seen from our announcement this morning that with some delays in shipping, especially, and very, very wet season, we normally get average 1,300 millimetres of rain across the year. At Bougouni, we've had 1,500 in this current wet season, so basically from mid-June to now. So it's been quite wet. Our team has been really good at safely continuing the construction, soldering on. We've had to have a few half days off here or there. We had a rain event of 150 millimetres in one day. So we talked last year that we're adept at working in this climate and handling the rainfall, which we've done reasonably well. But without having any statistics on it, it looks like it's going to be one of those wet seasons that is a 1 in 30-year type event. So it is still very good that we're looking now at saying early Q1 2025. And in our minds and looking at our scheduling, we've probably lost a month over the last 2.5 months due to these delays. We're still pushing to try and get our first product in December, and we'll continue to push it. But we thought from a guidance perspective for the market that better to show you, to announce now that there is a slight delay. With all that, the open pit mining is actually progressing ahead of schedule. We've had 9 blasts already into our exposed rock. Our local contractor EGTF and their explosive supplier Oshin from China have been really impressed, working very safely, and they've moved a bunch of dirt. So we're going to have a stockpile of ore ready well in advance of our commissioning time. Currently 25,000 tonnes of ore at ore grade. And at the Bougouni prospect, we've completed a bunch of diamond core drilling. We stopped that drilling around 20th of August. It was getting a bit wet, and the contractor's vehicles needed some maintenance, so we took that opportunity to stop down tools on the diamond drilling. Shout out to George Michaelides, who's here, our exploration manager, who spends his time making sure that stuff happens. And with the rain, he's been able to have a break and join us. Welcome, George. All right, so we're now looking to start a program for additional diamond drilling and some RC when the weather improves, which should happen in the next few weeks. We had one issue with the core saw, which slowed down our production of samples for our diamond drilling that was done leading up to August, but that's now, we've got a new one, and we're moving forward, and assays are pending from our laboratory. So that's our construction schedule, much the same as what we anticipated. DMS and crusher parts arrived on site in September as we hoped. We've started our installation work, and I'll show you some pictures of that soon. And yeah, so we've sort of moved that commissioning starts sometime in December, and Jan, Feb, so early first quarter, start our first product. Okay. Just some images. Top left, that's a week or so ago. All the backfilling around the concrete foundations is done in all the areas. You can sort of see bottom left the Anguillana pit after heavy rainfall. The video shows that up quite a bit more. Top right is crushing equipment, which is being laid down because our focus is actually on DMS, which is the critical part of our installation work. And just to show we've got cranes on site. We love cranes. But this may or may not work. I have help.
Hello, I'm Mamadou Dambele, Associate Manager, Buguni Mining. My background is I'm social anthropologist with a master's degree, and also I have a master's degree in project management. I have a 20 years experience in the mining sector in Mali, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Senegal, and DRC. My first time to work on this project, Buguni Lithium project of KODAL at this time, is happened in 2016. I worked with a company to complete the full ASIA study, including the public consultation process. And after the ASIA complete, I go to work. I continue with my company, consultant company, and back work again for KODAL Minerals in this project, Buguni Lithium project. Now as an employee in 2022 for 1 year. In this time, I work to prepare the operation phase. In 2023, I signed a contract with Buguni Mining, who will be involved in the operation activity on Buguni Lithium projects. And currently, I'm the associate manager, and I'm busy all activity in terms of environment, social, security, health and safety, and also the relationship between the community and the project, the relationship between the government and the project, and all technical service in Buguni area. Maybe I'm really excited as local employee to involve in the management team of this project. And also, it is a good opportunity for me to start at the study level in this project, cost level, and I hope I can continue to the operation level. And one thing is very important in this project is the good relationship between the local team. For example, my relationship between myself and my other colleague from Australian and Chinese guy is very good. We work together to improve this project. And I want to say our vision of this project is to build together, grow together, and enjoy together. Thank you everyone for your support to this project and for Mali. Thank you so much.
We took just 2 days ago from where Dembele, our ESR or HSE head of department and looks after environmental social responsibility and all the community development as well. Just the main road that we built driving up towards the site, and fully built 100% a local contractor. It's about a kilometre and a bit from the RN8, which is the national road, to our site. This is the road here where, when we had that rain event, we could see the flooding coming up to the bridge which we're passing here. We've got a small creek where we've installed a bridge, but it does recede very quickly. So on that particular day, for about 8 hours, we weren't working on site at all, so the rainfall was very heavy.
Particularly green this year.
It is particularly green, which looks magnificent at the moment. Excuse the puddles. I haven't authorised the pumping out of that water at this point. So we're just rolling up to the plant site area now. So the main access road drives into the main plant site. On the right-hand side is part of the mining contractor's laydown yard, and just over the right-hand side there. Left-hand side, you can see we've retained some of the trees there. A lot of shea butter trees, some cashews as well, is where our admin block is. On the left side, you can see the blue items, that's offloading of equipment, and on the other side there as well. So as we pan to the right, you can see the waste dump coming up. Crushing system showing up now, that's the main control centre and substation, the building, and the DMS plant site area. And the ROM stockpile at that side. So we're building up our stockpile area. There's quite a bit of waste that's been moved already. A lot of it was free dig, but as I said before, we've now done 9 blasts into the pit, and so now we're driving. Well, we stopped driving. Oh, we're shuffling our drone. Sorry. Flying up to the actual Angolana pit, which we started first dig 3rd of July. So done a great job. You'll see as we come up to the pit, actually working in the pit, there's still a couple of sumps that we're controlling the water to make sure it's safe to work. On the left-hand side, you'll see soon where the outcropping area is, but that's the Ballet River and the creek that leads into it. That's as high as we've seen it in probably, well, since we've been there. I know we had one other wet season where it was quite close to us, but that's sort of shows how much water there has been in that river. We're now just flying towards where the explosives storage yard is, which is operational now, obviously with the blasting that we've been doing. And I did look at the video earlier. Alassana, our surveyor, is still finding his way around site. So you'll see a bit of the greenery for a while, and then we'll turn over to where the other way, mate. We'll turn over to where the explosive mixing yard is, and basically it circles back to the main road that we came in on. So that's the mixing area, and then we're back on the main road. So quite a compact site. We'll post this video on our website as well, so you can see it a bit better. And that should be it.
This is Steve Z truck. He's in his way to Sigasu or Zegua, Ivory Coast border. Traverse my boss.
Okay, all right. I can confirm I do not have a trucking company in Mali, and that's my guys just take an opportunity to poke fun at the boss when he's not on site. But I'll get him back.
Okay. Thanks. I hope that gives an overview to everyone. Don't know how to do that. Oh, this. Oh, this one. Yes, I do know how to do that. Yeah, so fantastic to see that development. I think there's often questions sent directly to me about any evidence of progress. I think it's very clear. We're making a lot of progress. We did put out our announcement today, and I think, as Steve said, you know, we're generally, over time, we've been quite conservative with our targets, quite conservative with our approach to people. We haven't overpromised. What we did today was announce that the cumulative effect of the delays make us believe that there's a probability of first production in first quarter 2025. Our target is still December 2024, and our team is very keen to try and make that happen. But we want people to be aware that there's a possibility of a delay, and we're working hard to mitigate that, but that's the way it goes in project developments, unfortunately. Obviously key, and you would have seen with that video there, we have a workforce that's made up predominantly of Malians. We have people who've worked with us for many years and continue to work with us. We're bringing a lot of benefit to the local community. And key to that is our sustainability strategy, our environmental approach, and our community liaison. We have taken a lot of interest, of course, in governance, and governance not just at our corporate KODAL level or KMUK level, but actually in the community, and making sure we're working with people who are able to speak for other people in the community. Of course, we're establishing an ESG group. We have a policy which is governed obviously by some compliance from companies' recommendations, and we're looking to further implement that strategy. Risk management, environment, and social impact assessment was conducted early, part of our ESIA, and a key component for us to get our mining license granted. Construction of the plant, operation of the mine and production, and when we complete decommissioning and rehabilitation are things that have all been taken into account, and we continue to monitor and ensure that we operate with best practice. We want to create value for all stakeholders with a community development plan that should, we hope, improve the lives of people in the Bougouni community and the Bougouni region and villages around us. The ESIA did develop a social management plan, and we continue to put that in place. There's integration of project operation, job opportunities, and in bringing people into our workforce, and we're developing that in line with Mali and the strategies that the government expect. We monitor the performance, but to date, of course, we're in development phase rather than production, and some of those measurements are not yet finalised. We will be looking to provide further guidance towards our ESG strategy, working with Hainan, who themselves have a significant ESG strategy and protocol, and through our joint subsidiary of KMUK, looking to make sure we provide that guidance. So, in summary, we have a fantastic development opportunity with Bougouni. We appreciate the support of the Hainan Mining Group, and you'll see that considerable development progress has taken place. We are fully permitted and financed for the stage 1 operation. We are seeing rapid development, and perhaps in some we've had some delays, which we've worked as hard as we can to overcome, but the cumulative effect is reducing perhaps our confidence in 2024 a bit, and we acknowledge that there's possibility of a delay. But we do have a fantastic team who've worked with us at KODAL, and George Michaelides has been with us since the first drill hole into Bougouni. Steve with us since the first engineering assessment and environmental assessment. A lot of our workers for the whole time, as well as the board, has been intimately involved with this development. And now with Hainan, over the last year or so, their team on site, led by Chai Yu Sheng and Jerry Gao, have made a fantastic progress at Bougouni. So I think you're seeing the result of a really strong team and a unified effort to make this happen. So we're finalising for the actual profitability of the project, 100% offtake to be finalised with Hainan Mining. That secures the buyer for our product. Our modelling demonstrates strong free cash flow from the operation throughout 2025, as well as the significant upside that we have demonstrated in the project, and our recent drilling at the Bumu prospect highlights the opportunity to increase the mineral resource base for Bougouni, as well as multiple other targets that continue to be highlighted and will be tested in due course. So it's a fantastic project and a fantastic opportunity. But importantly for KODAL, we do have more on our plate. One is we have some of the gold projects, which we're not mentioning today, but clearly we want to advance those projects with the good opportunity of the Fatou project in Mali, and particularly the Niele project in Côte d'Ivoire. We made an assessment earlier this year on some of our older, less advanced projects and less opportunity to move them on and allow us to focus critically on the key projects. And in addition, we're well funded. we're experienced in acquiring projects, and we continue to look for new projects. So that's further opportunities to grow our company. And I think it's quite clear, Steve and myself, we often speak to brokers, to investors, through the UK, through Australia, through lots of different people approaching us. And we can just have a moment to think KODAL has actually been a success story. This last year, comparing us to other lithium companies worldwide, we would be the only company that is up in share price year on year. Probably an increase of up to 35% with compared to an average of down of 37% for other companies. The other critical factor for us is to say, historically, exploration projects rarely convert to mining opportunities. In fact, of hundreds or more, less than 1% actually become resource, let alone mine. And that's a significant achievement for our team and recognition of actually a very good quality project. So I think in terms of KODAL, it's been a success story this year. We've had a lot of achievements with our partner in Hainan, and we continue to demonstrate the opportunity for KODAL to be involved with a very profitable lithium mine in Mali and a lot of growth potential. So thank you very much for your attention to the presentation, and we're now open to take questions.
Fantastic. Many thanks indeed for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, do please continue to submit your questions just using the Q&A tab situated on the right-hand corner of your screen. To our team, take a few moments to review those questions submitted there. I'd like to remind you the recording of the presentation, along with a copy of the slides and the published Q&A, can be accessed via your investor dashboard. As you can see, we've had a number of questions submitted throughout today's presentations, and I'm sure you may have some in the room as well. So if I may just hand over to you, for those online, if you could just read out the question and give a response where appropriate to do so, that'd be fantastic. And just like to caveat, due to the number of attendees on today's presentation, the company may not be able to get through every single question that you submit, but they will have the ability to review those. So back to you, team. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Paul. And thank you very much for a lot of the shareholders who have submitted questions. And we can just reviewing the pre-submitted questions, I think it's very clear that there's a few key items that people are interested in. So I'd like to take the opportunity to summarise some of these questions into some simple answers. And to start with, we're all interested in the timing of the transfer of the mining licence from Future Minerals, which is 100% owned by KMUK, has a valid licence that's been accepted by all government authorities and that we are continuing to operate under, but we would like to transfer that to the mining licence. As we stated, we've had ongoing discussions with the Mali government about that. As we actually said in our RNS today, we're continuing those discussions, and some of the timing around that is still uncertain. However, we are coming closer to agreement with the government. Now, some of the key changes will be that previously we've stated, and we continue to operate our licence under the 2019 code. However, the mining licence was updated in 2023 and passed in the Parliament. The regulations for that mining code were passed in April 2024. That code is now fully functional. The government announced a moratorium prior to the introduction of the 2023 code, the moratorium on any dealings with licences. And as such, we were unable to transfer our licence and update, renew any other licences. What the impact of this is that we are, in our discussions, we are talking about the migration to the 2023 code, the possible protection of our rights under the 2019 code of customs exemptions and tax exemptions and so on. We're close to reaching some agreement with the government. We do support Mali's rights to change its mining code, to update its mining code and to protect its rights. And as we've always stated, we like to work with the government. We've maintained good relations, and we're seeing that continue through these discussions. We can't give a timing of the transfer. we're working hard to make sure that can be transferred as soon as possible. There's several questions about a resource upgrade, and what we have done to date, and talking particularly first of Bougouni, is continue the drilling of the key prospects. And Boomu has become a focus for us over this last year. Nguilana was a focus for us prior to the commencement of the open pit mining. We do not do a mineral resource update until we have all available data. We're still waiting on a significant number of assays from our diamond core drilling. Over 2,000 samples are in the lab at the moment. What we are expecting over the next few months is to have direction on further diamond drilling, infill and extension of the Boomu prospect that will underpin a significant resource update when we are satisfied that we have enough information to support that. We're looking actually to try and move Boomu into an indicated resource as quickly as possible to support an optimisation and engineering assessment of the open pit mining potential there. So the key for us actually is getting the data to support the upgrade, to support the future investment decisions. So we don't do half-baked resource updates. We have a significant target for Bougouni, and we continue to aim to reach that target. We also have some other questions in general, talking about the stages that we're going through in terms of the development. And clearly we've stated that stage one is the DMS development. You've seen the video, you understand the process we're going through. Open pit mining has commenced, a stockpile is being built in place. We expect to be commissioning November, December this year. We hope, we aim, our target is late December, but most likely now we're prepared to be saying early Q1 2025. That's stage one. That we need to get up and running in steady state, and then we'll be looking to undertake the assessment and the investment decision on stage two, which is a large scale flotation plant, which will allow us to then fully develop the Bougouni mine with the expectation of potential production profile for up to 340,000 tonne per annum for a few years, where we were able to operate the two projects in conjunction, but looking to continue that growth and establish a long life mine in Bougouni. We're also being asked, and again, this has been answered through the video and through the presentation today, have critical items arrived on site? Yes. Are we continuing to receive materials on site? Yes. The first two ships that we spoke about carrying the critical items arrived, unloaded, and have been delivered to site. Construction has commenced. We have another ship in transit at the moment, and a final ship to leave in the next month that will complete the items to be delivered to Bougouni. So I think that summarises pretty fairly all the pre-submitted questions. And just to be clear, we do receive emails and opinions from a lot of shareholders, and some offering us advice on possible sale of our share of the project and indicating who might be a likely buyer. Great. But what I would say is that our focus is operating the company, developing the company, and maximising the opportunity. And if that opportunity becomes a sale, we will assess it on its merits, but that's not our focus. Okay, that was the first one on the online. Number 18. Yeah, mining code, we've answered that. Project viable. And again, sorry, there's probably a pretty consistent query about reference to the spot market price of spodumene today versus our assessment and whether the project's still viable. I think we've been very clear on that our view is that it is. And our view is that we have a partner who we've negotiated the offtake agreement with. We have established that there'll be a floor price that we will be selling at. If the price falls to that level, that supports a profitable operation. So yes, our project is very viable. Frank, regular correspondent, Frank.
Yes.
Hello, Frank. Frank's picked up a couple of issues regarding our cash balance, one being what we reported in our annual report and what we're reporting now. And Frank, you're right, that does refer to some reimbursements that we've received from our work with Hainan and money that we spent on the project in the period that we were looking to finalise the transaction. No need to worry about that one. Well, again, Frank, asking about the gold, and to be clear, we get quite a few questions about our gold projects. Notably, this year, our focus has been on the Bougouni project and assisting with the exploration and resource development there. We have had the opportunity to have our team go to both Nile and Fatu and develop the exploration programs that we are planning to put in place during this coming year. We have been clear that this year has been a very wet season. It may delay us getting to some of the field work, but Fatu and Nile are our two advanced gold projects where we think there's the most likely opportunity to define a mineral resource, and that's where we'd like to do some work. Perhaps we can move on. Interesting question from Neil here, Steve, which basically says share price. Neil, I think I've answered that. Comparatively, worldwide, we've done a share price has been very strong for us this year and consistent. We're possibly seeing an effect that happens to lots of companies when they take up a development project, and you have a period of stagnation in the share price as you move through the phase of building through to then production. And this is very common. I think, at least for us, we are maintaining that price we have and at times increasing. Richard, and again, probably something that we may have addressed with some of the earlier questions, asking us about security risks in Mali. So this is a large question relating to West Africa and Mali in particular, obviously for our interest. Yes, there has been continued issues of insurgents and possible jihadist and criminal activity in Mali in the northeast and in Burkina Faso in the neighbouring country. The government of Mali is consistently tackling the issue and in some instances making some headway that demonstrates that that there is an increase in security and safety of its citizens. Where we operate in Bougouni, we find it to be a very calm, quiet location. Our team lives in Bougouni and has lived there since 2016. We've never had an issue. Both Steve and myself and David and Murphy were recently in Mali, and again, no personal safety issue and no issue in relation to our operations. So I'm not trying to speak in general of the country, but trying to speak in terms of our operation and our people. We believe we're in a safe and secure environment. John, it's very, very detailed question here, John. 65. So, referencing the investment from Hainan, 65 million is earmarked for the capital John's asking the other 35 million. Well, that 35 million is used for the development of Bougouni. That 100 million was invested into our subsidiary company, KODAL Mining UK, which owns the lithium projects in Mali, and that money specifically will be used for Mali Bougouni development.
Significantly, Bernard.
Completely.
65 doesn't include exploration work, which is ongoing to grow the resource. So that's one of the activities that comes from that investment.
Yep, exactly. And future opportunities through exploration around the project, plus engineering and development assessment. Wow, a lot of things here, John. Tracking the we've previously announced in all our feasibility studies, we estimate the trucking from Bougouni to San Pedro to be $125 a tonne. Our costs are sensitive to diesel, but not excessively. We are a low power drawer. Yes, it will impact our mining fleet, but we're a bulk buyer. We've got an established discounted price. A lot of our job is to actually manage costs, and we're particularly focused on that. Stage 2, we do expect that the cash flow from stage 1 will largely underpin the development of the flotation plant. We do expect that once we're demonstrating ourselves as a successful operator in Mali, the ability to future fund the development of the flotation plant either through debt or combination cash flow will become available to us.
There's that question there on energy, Bernard, about whether Bougouni will connect to the grid in Mali. There's no national grid that currently serves the Bougouni district. It is planned at the moment. We don't have a date on that. So it would be great if we do get the grid connected, which is in the plan, as I said, we will look to connect, and that would be a great advantage for stage 2, which is going to pull a lot more power than the smaller stage 1 plant. There's a question whether stage 2 will disrupt stage 1. Quite the opposite, really, because the flotation plant is on the other side of the river. If you go back to the presentation, you'll see the proximity. It's actually quite independent, but there will be some advantages having built stage 1 first. That makes stage 2 that little bit easier, especially with access and those sorts of things, and understanding the community, which is really strong.
I just think, John, really you're taking up a lot of the question space here. So you're asking about our government relations, we've answered that. 2023 code, we've answered that. A question regarding perhaps our assessment of our technical team. We are very happy with our laboratory, with the reliability of the assays. We're very happy with our drilling contractors and our geological team to provide very reliable expert information for our future resource. Some of these questions, John, I think I might just move over because we that's enough. That's enough. Gee. Okay. All-in sustaining cost, confidence on meeting what our guidance?
Confident? Yep.
Confident. We're very confident. Yeah. Look, there's a comment here, Nick, and this is, I will mention this, but it's basically just to reference the team, referring to our presentation and the team, and I'd like to thank our PR group, Steve and the team who've done an excellent job. You would have seen that video that we presented today, and actually it takes a lot for some of our guys to get up and talk about themselves and the company. So we do appreciate Dembele, who is a fantastic representative for the company. And you know, KODAL is actually a team achievement, and we'd like to recognise that through everyone. Joshua is asking, have the results for Boomoo to date met or exceeded expectations? Well, I think George and myself often speak about this exceeding, and we're very pleased. And I think it took us a while to actually understand Boomoo. It's a little bit complex, but where we feel we are at the moment is the ability to track and confirm wide, high-grade pegmatite bodies, which, from our view, have the potential to underpin a mining development. So, we're exploration guys. Often we're optimistic. We need to put it in front of the engineering lie detector team and make sure we haven't been making up too much. We'll move on from Richard. Thank you.
Number of things I could say there, but I just hold my tongue.
Just by the way, we do have people in the room. Any of you guys want to ask? Yeah, Sue, you said? Yep.
What it is at the moment.
Yep.
And what it is while you're functioning and then during the rehabilitation stage.
Talking about the main Barlow River water quality.
Yeah.
Very high sediment, very high suspended sediment. We took some samples during this wet season because it's very turbulent, obviously, and just by doing the old-fashioned test we used to do 25 years ago in Africa, fill a bottle and see how long it takes to settle. It does not settle. And we're so conscious of our impact and our sediment that to keep it from the river, if we had a leak, we probably wouldn't even know it. It's really high in sediment. But it is low in dissolved salts. So it's quite fresh. pH with tests are showing ±7. There is a few areas where the bore water is lesser quality, and we're working with the community, especially Ngualana community, which is about 3 kilometres away from us. We've tested the bores there, and that they had a Qatari group put a bore in there, which was solar powered and wasn't working, and we got it up and running, tested the water. The pH was quite low, so we're trying to look at ways that we can maybe help them find a bit better water. At Kolasukra, it's really good quality water in the bores. So most of the water that communities use are bores. What we'll use for our project, we'll have to apply a little bit of flocculant, which is environmentally friendly flocculant, of course, just to keep that suspended solids down. So, is that the quality coverage you're curious of?
Perhaps you're asking if there's going to be any impact of what our process is on the water. Yeah, look, we actually, with DMS, with the process we're doing a gravity separation, we actually do no chemicals that will impact on the water. What we mine and the waste dump will be just, a lot of it will actually be previous alluvial sediments and just sedimentary rock with no acid forming materials. It will be benign quartz sand as the final product from the DMS circuit. And when we actually do the flotation itself, again, very low chemical and very low risk to any water or environment. We spend a lot of time actually with our ESIA, independent group, Digby Wells, did the work for us and prepared a lot of the assessment. Clearly, it's important, the water and the monitoring and the security of the river, the farming that's depends on that, as well as the community. So we're very conscious of our role in protecting that, and what we've put in place should make sure that there's no impact from us. Ewan?
I have a question for you from a friend here.
Sure.
Here we're very keen to confirm our license to transfer on the 2019 code before they committed to the investment. How does the 2023 code benefit KODAL, and what is the impact on our relationship opinion?
Well, we are now not independently KODAL nor independently Hainan. We're working together as KODAL Mining UK. KODAL Mining UK owns the lithium projects in Mali, and we're both trying to make sure that we get the best result for it. Hainan have demonstrated in the past their commitment to communities and support and development of operations. We're obviously very keen to make sure that there's our our relationships in Mali are maintained. So in terms of our negotiation with the government for the transfer of the mining licence, as I said earlier during the presentation and answering some of those questions, you know, Mali government has the right to update its mining code and protect its interests. We're negotiating with the government to try and protect our interests and maximise the benefit we can achieve. And we continue to work with the Mali government. I was speaking directly as KODAL CEO. We're still happy with the way we're proceeding, and we're still very happy with Hainan. And not to put words in your mouth, David, but in our recent discussions, you've indicated you're still very happy with us. So, and the way things are progressing at Bougouni.
Yes, we currently focus solving this problem first. Yeah, so I think we keep negotiating with the government, and you know, we solve this dialogue first. We keep our priority to move the project forward. Yeah. That's our current focus. Yeah.
Thanks, David. Yeah, look, it's a good partnership. A couple of extra quick questions here I think we've got time for. I don't want to go over. Luke is asking share price predictions. Sorry, Luke, no idea. And just hope for the best. But knowing that your team, we don't rely on hope, we rely on our
strategy, Bernard. Yeah. You know that.
We don't rely on hope, we rely on our skill set to make it work. Joshua probably can't answer that one. Sorry about that. Baseball caps. We love our baseball caps, Ian, and
they're available on site in Bougouni. You find your way there.
Or Bamako.
It's not bad. Office. I was going to bring some actually, but so I'll make an effort to get some.
Sorry, the guys who came today. Sorry, we've let you down. Yeah. And John, well, thanks for your support, John. We appreciate your support of us.
Good on you, John.
And I just probably take this question from David because we do get asked a little bit about communications, and again, I do get regular recommendations on how frequently I should be presenting to the market, and how frequently some people think some things are important versus we as a company, and how we have proceeded to provide information regarding the development of Bougouni, as well as the other work we're doing, to make sure that the market is informed. Now, we're very clear. We are involved with the development of the Bougouni lithium project. We provide regular updates. We don't think there's a need to tell you every time there's a bit of concrete poured or that there's any trucks arriving. We're very clear with the strategy that we've announced, and on at least a process of at least 6 weeks to no more than 2 months have been regular announcements. And for the drilling updates, as the results become available, we update those as well. And just be assured, if there was any problems, we do announce those as soon as possible to keep the market informed. As we progress, we are progressing to a strategy that we're comfortable with, and you can see regular improvements. So we continue that. We're happy to speak to people when we meet them and keep them informed of what we're doing. But we, at this stage, are looking to maintain that communication. And generally, just again, all our communication is generally through RNS. It's clear for everyone, and everyone gets the same information.
Shout out to my friends at Buchanan's. They taught me how to tweet this year, so I'll continue to try and tweet a bit more as.
Well, excellent.
I do have kids that help me, you know. I hope you enjoy my editing. Please provide feedback if you don't.
I think, are we about? Yeah, I think we're about out. You were probably out of time now. Are you still there, Paul? I think we've.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for answering so many questions. Of course, the team will have the ability to review all questions submitted today and publish any further responses where appropriate to do so on the Investor Meet Company platform. Perhaps before redirecting investors to give you their feedback, perhaps I could just ask for a few closing comments, and then we'll send you out.
Okay, thanks, Paul. And look, I guess in terms of closing comments, I think we've had a very exciting this last year for KODAL Minerals, and this upcoming year is again going to be a fantastic year for us. We're looking forward to the first production from the Bougouni project. We're looking forward to a very successful operation with our partner Hainan Mining. In addition, with KODAL, we're looking to grow the project. We've said this lots of times, and first opportunity may be with our gold projects in Mali and Cote d'Ivoire. We have exploration planned, and we look forward to putting that into action. In addition, we're looking for other opportunities, and of course, we believe we have a strength in lithium, in acquiring and exploring and developing projects. So that is a focus for us. And with our partner, we believe we have support to look for significant projects, and we look forward to opportunities to work together there. We thank everyone for their support. Very good year this year. Looking forward to a better year next year. So thanks very much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for updating attendees today. Could I please ask investors not to close the session as we automatically redirected to provide your feedback in order that the management team can better understand your views and expectations. This will only take a few moments to complete and is greatly valued by the company. On behalf of the management team of KODAL Minerals PLC, I'd like to thank you for attending today's presentation. That concludes today's session, and good afternoon.